Good morning, everyone. Are we already finished with your japa? We'll just take a few minutes because it's helpful to have a strategy when chanting. It's the most important of our activities, the only one thing that our founder Acharya asked us to do. There's some things he recommended we not do. So we can prioritize our bead bag. Start the process of japa the night before. It's helpful to set everything up. I think 4 is a little late though, on the clock. But knowing what you're going to do the next morning, starting with putting your japa bag out and making sure it's available, sets your mind for the next day. This is available through the link I gave you, the Buddha Shuddhi. And it's one of the aligning statements that is there in our padhatis before deity worship, which one can also use before one begins to chant japa. If you like, we can say this together. It's Buddha Shuddhi means the purification of the elements. We're not the same person in the morning that we were at night, as we travel in various places on the astral plane, and then we come back into a body that has various contaminations. So this is one of the ways of purifying the elements in our body. Shall we? I am by nature the eternal servant of Krishna, but by misfortune due to being inimical towards him since time immemorial, I have been wandering within the cycle of birth and death in the material world, being burnt by threefold miseries. Now, as a result of some unimaginable good fortune, by the mercy of my spiritual master, I know that I am an infinitesimal living being, completely apart from the gross and subtle body. Now, by the order of my spiritual master, I have obtained the good fortune of serving his lotus feet, as well as the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda, Shri Shri Radha Landaneshwara. Naham vipro na chandarapatir na pi vaisho na shudro, Naham varni na cha grihapatir no vanasto yatirva, Kintu prodyan nikila paramananda purnam ratabder, Gopi Bharatu Padakamalagyor Das Das Anudasa. I'm not a Brahmana, I'm not a Kshatriya, I'm not a Vaishya or a Shudra, nor am I a Brahmachari, a householder, a Vanaprastha or a sannyasi. I identify myself only as a servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna, the maintainer of the gopis. He is like an ocean of nectar, and he is the cause of universal transcendental bliss. He is always existing with brilliance. And yesterday we talked about forced meditation. Remember that? Nija Sarva Shaktis, the Lord's personal potencies are there within his holy name. And we talked about determination and effort. Determination means you got to finish, because it has the word terminus in it. That's the ending point. Effort, you have to fight for it. It's not that it just comes easily, because there's a strong resistance within the world, spelled with a capital R, that's always pushing against our attempt to advance in devotional service. So we have to be ready, as Krishna says, Evam Buddhi Param Buddhasam Stabhyatmanamatmana Jahishatra Mahabaho Kamarupa Darasadam. Stand up and fight, Arjuna, he said. So this is a time to fight, to come and make our stand by chanting the holy name. We're not taking anything less. Only pure devotional service and only Hare Krishna. Now, Prabhupada gives the next two. Well, I'm giving them what Prabhupada said, and I'm presenting them as the next two instructions for your consideration and edification. This is a letter he wrote to Jagadish in 1970. When we chant, we must concentrate our mind on the sound vibration, and in that way everything will be revealed one after another, the form, the qualities, pastimes, etc. of the Lord, and this is the way of cultivating spiritual realization. Let's say it all together. When we chant, we must concentrate our mind on the sound vibration, and in that way everything will be revealed one after another, the form, the qualities, pastimes, etc. of the Lord, and this is the way of cultivating spiritual realization. So extended mental concentration. If you can practice this, your mind gets better at it. If you practice scrolling, that's what you'll get good at. It's not helpful because it puts rajas in the mind, and that's one of the reasons we have a problem sitting and concentrating. Too much rajas. The mind wants to go somewhere else, somewhere else, somewhere else. But the more we can practice in our japa, extended mental concentration, and stay focused on hearing the holy name, and just the sound vibration, keep coming back to it, be aware that we're chanting, the stronger we'll become. It's like developing a muscle also. It's not by chance, it's by practice. And finally, Prabhupada gives this idea of medicine. The best remedy is to sit down very tightly and chant Hare Krishna very loudly and hear for a long time until he feels himself one-minded and fixed on Krishna's lotus feet. Shall we say together? The best remedy is to sit down very tightly and chant Hare Krishna very loudly and hear for a long time until he feels himself one-minded and fixed on Krishna's lotus feet. So we're either one-minded and when we become one-minded, then we barely know what time it is or which round we're on. We just know that we're hearing the vibration and it doesn't sound like anything else in this world. And all advancement takes place in absorption. So it's important to cross over into the realm of absorption and not the realm of boredom. When we're not hearing the holy name and we haven't become one-minded, which takes practice and some time in every session, we may be bored. We may be looking at the clock thinking, when's this going to be over? But when we're absorbed, when we come to the end of our prescribed number of rounds, we'll think, is that it already? I don't want to go do anything else. I'm happy here, although we're happy to go elsewhere too to do more service. So this becoming one-minded, Prabhupada recommended, takes some time. Be patient, sit down and continue until you can enter into that position. And just as we did yesterday, a few devotees mentioned that it was helpful. This is taken from a purport Prabhupada writes in the second canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's one of the processes of deity worship, and if you just become a little centered before you start your chanting of your japa, it can be very helpful. So let's just try. I will walk you through this. If you just close your eyes and sit up a little straighter than you were a second ago, helps your mind think that something serious is going on. Just like when you're going when you sit down for a job interview, you don't slouch, otherwise they won't hire you. Bring your awareness to your hands, your legs, your head, and your hair. Actually, follow this. Just be very internal right now. Notice that you are their seer, and that there is a difference between you, the seer, and your body, which you see. Our senses, limbs, speech, and even evacuation, reproductive functions rely on a higher power. They can be withdrawn at any moment. Notice that your intelligence comes to you naturally, like the directions spoken by a wise authority. Notice that you're fully dependent on this intelligent guidance. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that he is the ubiquitous supersoul that accompanies every living being and who is supplying our intelligence. In a very personal way, and feeling dependent on the super self, the way a baby is dependent on its mother. Internally, state your purpose for chanting. A prayer I often say before chanting is, "Oh my Lord, oh dear holy name, if you so desire, please give me the best of association and the wherewithal to take advantage of it. Thank you for considering my request." Or it may be something along the lines of, "Oh my Lord, please engage me in your service. Please let me be aware of your holy name and that you're fully present there." Just take a moment to state your purpose internally. And remembering Prabhupada's instructions, let's chant the gateway mantra, the only way we can truly enter into the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, by saying together the Panchatattva mantra. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Happy Japa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, one of the instructions Prabhupada gave about japa is be one-minded, and one of the mind's aspirations is to find something somewhere else. It's always going somewhere else to find something. And if we take the idea that Prabhupada gave us, that everything's available in the holy name, and it's something that Krishna mentions often in the Shastra, like in the end of the 8th chapter of Vedeshu, Yagneshu Tapasu Chaiva, Taneshu Yat Punya Palam Prachishtam Atyeti Tat Sarvamidam Baditva Yogi Param Stanam Upaiti Chadyam. That if you just do this one thing, then you'll achieve all other things. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Nambina Kichunahiko Aro, Choda Bhuvanavache. Don't think there's anything else anywhere in the three worlds that you won't get from the holy name. You don't have to go shopping anywhere else. And that it helps to bring the mind back to that point of just the holy name. And then the other point is being aware that you're chanting. Because it's one of the ways that the mind operates, that you can be doing something, but at the same time you can be thinking of something else. And it helps if you notice that when you're chanting, if you're feeling restless or you're not absorbed, and there's the absorbed versus bored, you can notice that your mind went shopping somewhere else, or you're contemplating something else at the same time you're chanting. And Chaitanya Charan Prabhu had mentioned once that sometimes people sign up to get exercise at a gymnasium, and they go there and they try a few exercises. They say, well, I like the idea, but it's a lot of hard work, lifting weights, pulling myself over a bar. So I'll go there, but instead of lifting the weight, I'll just move my arms. Or instead of pulling up on the bar, I'll just do it in the air. And of course, they go there again and again, but after 5 years, they're the same. So in a similar way, he's pointing out that we might chant japa, but we might not be doing the heavy lifting, which actually isn't heavy lifting, it's a relief, but the mind thinks something else is available somewhere else. So Prabhupada pointed out in today's instruction that if you focus and for a long time and become absorbed, then everything, the name, the form, the lila, everything else is available through the chanting. Any last comment? Yes? We'll give you the mic.
I just wanted to share, this morning my own feels many pointed, and I wanted to share something that has helped myself on myself lead us to take that comfort away. It's not Japa. He reminded us that Japa is the highest form of self-care, and that if we're looking for reasons to not do Japa, to look after ourselves, then just to remind ourselves that the best way we can look after ourselves is to chant our Japa. That's the best form of self-care. So that's what I'm telling myself this morning.
Thank you. Just one quick review of Prabhupada's instruction and we'll go back. When we chant, we must concentrate our mind on the sound vibration, and in that way everything will be revealed one after another, the form, the qualities, pastimes, etc. of the Lord, and this is the way of cultivating spiritual realization. The best remedy is to sit down very tightly and chant Hare Krishna very loudly and hear for a long time, until he feels himself one-minded and fixed on Krishna's lotus feet. So let's try again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. There's only a few minutes left, and I want to ask His Holiness Keshava Maharaj, can you say a few things about your realizations on Japa and what's most helpful and why we're doing it?
Someone once said to me something about Japa which really changed the way I look at it. They said there's many services that we do throughout our devotional life, but he said in the conditioned state, Japa is the closest thing to pure devotional service.
Mm.
Because in every other type of service that we do, there's always some kind of external validation or benefit or recognition. And oftentimes we're not aware, but that's what's actually carrying our endeavor. And it may not be as pure as we think. But when we sit down in the morning and we put our hand in our bead bag, in the conditioned state, it's the closest thing to pure devotional service because it's just you and Krishna. And there's no extraneous, immediate material benefits. And that's why Japa is simultaneously the hardest thing to do, and it's also the most powerful and life-changing thing to do. So, yeah, it's just the moments in the morning that we spend chanting are really defining our spiritual life in so many ways because it's such a pure and powerful activity.
Marja, are there any ways in which you've developed to make your japa more effective for your own practice?
The songs of the Vaishnavacharyas, which also you share with us with such devotion and heart, are very, very powerful. In the songs of the Vaishnavacharyas, we find philosophical conclusions combined with a very deep heart, a very deep emotion, an emotion of crying, an emotion of begging and desperation. And so often what helps me before I chant is just to read one of the songs of the Vaishnavacharyas who really teach us how to cry for Krishna. And I found that that's really helped to give a very deep orientation and intention, as you mentioned, while we are chanting.
Thank you, Maharaj. I was thinking this morning that sincerity is the fuel of japa. If you can find that molecule, it's almost like if you're able to, in physics, I suppose, split an atom, although I know nothing about it. I know there's a chain reaction. From a small unit comes a huge amount of energy. And if in my japa I can find the point of sincerity, it's like a molecule, then if that's what's fueling my chanting, then I feel that I can fly on the japa. But without that fuel, it's very difficult. You have to push the car. Any last points? Yes. have 2 minutes, so make it brief, please.
Hare Krishna. It's about the one slide you showed yesterday, and I'm paraphrasing from Srila Prabhupada that the Harinama Japa, when you do Japa, the name is available equally to everybody, and that kind of generates the feeling to me that if someone is waiting and we need to reach out, so it's an action on our part that needs to be done. And if any slippage is happening, then we can overcome with the tools of determination and effort.
Thank you. Yes? 10 seconds.
Yeah, thank you so much, Maharaj. Yeah. So as Maharaj Krishna Maharaj mentioned, like reading, song, like I like Narottam Das Thakur, like read, and it's bring back, the way focus different ways. So as you mentioned, the force, right? So today morning I just feel before that. So if you force and if you chant just one round, would you focus, then the taste will you continue the next round. If you don't focus, 1 round, 2 round, then you feel, let me finish quickly. And you don't feel, I did finish or not, but I see that my counter is increased. Oh, I finished it. 16 round done. But you are not there at all in 16 round. Then you feel just my job is done. But if you feel that finish 1 round with concentrated, then if you let me continue 16 round in 1 sitting, let me focus 32 round in 1 sitting. Just the taste, if you get, that's, I realize, if you get the taste in 1 round, that taste will continue.
Thank you very much. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Srila Haridas Thakur, dear Sri Sri Panchatattva, if you so desire, please let our yatra and all the individual members enter deeply in the japa so we can be collectively strong and have the wherewithal to spread Krishna consciousness all over the UK by the power of our collective japa. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer in whole or in part, or not at all? Please say Hare Krishna. Vanchakoptabhishcha kripasinabhevascha patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha nantakoti vaishnavini ki jai. Shri Harinam Prabhu ki jai. Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai.